So there is actually just one more thing I want to touch on really quick about blogs before we move on. So when you make your blog and you write all of your content and you write all of your posts, there is an additional step you need to take to make it easier for users to browse through your content and find the articles and things that they're needing, and that is categories. Just writing your blog post is one step, but actually organizing them is a whole other one. And you want to make sure you pay attention to this because it can help in multiple ways, including for SEO purposes. So if we come over to this post navigation and go under categories, that will take us to the categories page. So this is fairly self-explanatory, but you can see all of the current categories over here. Right now I have the default one called uncategorized. That is the WordPress default, so that they can throw posts in there if you're not going to categorize them yourself. But you can add in as many categories as you want. So if I have articles about cats, I can create one called cats. The slug is the URL version of the name, so you could call it cats, but let's say I want the URL to be /cats22 or something like that. I can call this cats22, and then in the URL it'll say /cats22. But that is a silly example because there's no reason not to call it cats. Parent categories. So you can actually create subcategories in a category. So if I wanted this one to be cats, I can add that one. If I wanted this one to be about black cats, we can do that. Call this black cats, and then say the parent category is cats. Then there we go. This little dash means that it is a subcategory of cats. So that's really all there is to categories. It's nothing complicated. It's very similar to how menu structure works, kind of like that. Then as you're writing your posts, just make sure that you are actually adding them to the category. So if we have a blog post here, if we come to the sidebar, we can find this categories panel, and that lists out all of our categories. So if this one's about cats, we check that one. Make sure you uncheck the uncategorize. There's no reason for it to be in both categories. Yes, you can choose multiple categories for something to be in, but make sure you're just adding it to the ones that make sense. Second, beyond categories, there is another feature called tags. So tags are different from categories because they're similar, but they give you an extra level of categorization. Tags are really just a way to, if you want to add a specific tag to a post without actually adding that as a category. So let's say that I have 1,000 posts, but only 5 are about cats. It wouldn't really make sense to make a whole category about cats. So I would probably just add that as a tag and then tag those posts with cats. So tags, you can have as many as you want here, and I do recommend having a whole bunch. Again, this can help with SEO, just adding in those keywords there. And then on the front end, how categories and tags help when you have a blog up and running. Mine isn't really up and running great, so I don't really have a great example to show you, but you know, when you look at blogs, typically in the sidebar, you will see a categories panel in here or a tags one, and those links will be clickable and take you to a landing page. It shows you all of the posts related to cats or whatever tag you have. So that also helps to have your categories and tags all set up to make sure that you are giving users an extra level of navigation, another reason to stick around your website and click around onto things and discover new things. So make sure you're paying attention to categories and tags and definitely setting those up because they can really help boost your website SEO.